Okay, I think it's probably 7 by the wall and by my Mickey, so we will open this work session up, call it to order. I believe everyone is present this evening, which is good. We have a public hearing on a CDBG grant for 705, I believe. And I need to hold to that. So I'm going to, well, I guess we could still probably get one comment in. It's a public comment period as well. John, I know you wanted to address that. Do you want to do it during the public comment period or during the public hearing for the CDBG?
I'll do the during the public
hearing. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So you're okay if I take that off the speaker list? Or I'll leave it there, you do it anyway in a different forum. Doris Deef, water bill?
Yes.
What would you like? For the record, Ricky asked you to capture that. We're going to ask you to state your name, your address, and try to keep your comments to about 5 minutes.
My name is Doris Deef. My address is P.O. Box 1585.
What's your physical address?
Physical 1313 Ferris Court, Plattsburgh, New York. My problem, I got the water, on January 23rd, the weather was below 25, and I got a frozen pipe. Underneath the trailer, not inside the trailer. And my bill for water and sewer came up to $1,968. $1,968. I came to complain. They didn't do nothing and go to the city because the city is charging us for the sewer. I went to the city and they said since it was on the ground, it didn't go to the sewer pit, so the town doesn't pay. And I asked to revise their decision, and just this morning they said no, they cannot do nothing. My question is, if you are not paying for the sewer pit to the city, why should I pay it? $1,968. Where this money is going?
Did they give you a form to fill out to appeal your water bill?
I
did.
I should share with everyone, Ms. Deef has been in, as you indicated, spoken to Scott Stoddard, the director, a number of times, did complete a rate adjustment request. I think documented things quite well. I spoke with him briefly today, and he shared why he wasn't acknowledging it. I was concerned, and I told Doris that, you know, the problem with us is always the city bills us for the sewer, and we can't credit that. If the city will credit, then, you know, we can do as she's requesting. Which I think in general is how we would function. There are some other extenuating issues, and I don't think that I'm not comfortable in relaying them verbally based on what I remember that Scott had shared. If you want, I will, you know, have him indicate that in something written to you.
Okay.
Because it's a significant amount of money. Unfortunately, there were some other issues that he felt in invoking the town's law that it negated the payment. And he's, based on our conversations, I think he's interpreting that well. It would require some other action to reverse that, but you should get something more specific from him. As I said, I don't want to verbally try to represent.
Okay.
But he's aware and you know, has spoken with you, I think, a couple times.
One property doesn't have anything to do with the other. I have several properties, and it's not because I have several properties that I have to be penalized. Each property is different. I'm paying taxes for each property, not on the whole bunch of properties.
Mrs. Deef, without talking and having all the information, it sounds like the supervisor has a lot more information than I have. I'm on the Water and Sewer Committee.
I have every information.
I understand that, but I'd like to be given the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Stoddard and find out what information he's basing his denial on, and then I'd be glad to contact you and let you know whether or not I think that there's any merit to your. But again, this policy was created for just this reason, to address concerns that people have with their bill, and we take it very, very seriously as far as looking at all the information. So if you'd please just, I'm asking for myself to give me the opportunity to sit down with Mr. Stoddard.
In September, October, cabin pipe broke for no reason, and I got the credit. The total bill was 200 something, all right, and I got the credit, all right, but it was another property, another location, and this one, I don't understand how this amount came to, this bill came to this amount, and if you are not paying for the sewer paid by the city, why should I pay it, and where my money, if I pay it, where is it going?
Right.
Why? Do you need my money? Don't I pay enough taxes?
And actually, that'd be the best way to go. Maybe the Water Sewer Committee could meet with Mr. Stoddard and bring that information back to us and advise, guide, and make any recommendations. But I think you need to do that.
I wasn't aware of that.
I was under the impression that when we had these requests filed, that they were to go to the Water and Sewer Committee.
I don't recall the committee as a sign-off on the process. I know before funds in a request to adjust are released, they come to me to finally sign off. But I don't think it's reviewed by, I don't think it's part of the formal process.
There's been some times that we've been approached in
Yeah.
certain ones, so that's why I was surprised to hear about this one, but.
Yeah. Well, I think he feels, from his perspective, it's fairly clear, and as mentioned by Doris, she has received an adjustment before because they comply with all steps and requirements of the policy. And
there's a very valid argument that, if you have, multiple pieces, multiple properties, multiple pieces of property, and different tenants in those properties, whatever, it's not like the same, building. It's not like, you're a homeowner and you have it happen and you apply, and then 6 months later it happens again and you apply, and they say, well, wait a minute, we did this 6 months ago.
I don't think he would argue that, but I'll let him address it. I think it would be wisest done that way. And the committee, which is Tom and Gerard, they will meet with him, get his information, and if we can have your number, Mr. Mendez said he'd give you a call.
563-8731.
8731. All right, Mrs. D.
The director can only implement based on, policy and his authority. And if there's something in there that negates that, he would need other authority to override.
I want to be proud to live in Wallace, in town of Plattsburgh, in Wallace area. But this is really too much to go to the city and hear from the city. Since the water didn't go to the water pit, to the sewer pit, the town is not paying. It means what? I'm not considered by the town of Plattsburgh.
That's an accurate statement.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And the water, I admit, the water run to the ground, I agree to pay. But the sewer didn't go nowhere but on the ground.
Right.
So why should I pay $1,600 for nothing? All right?
Like I said, just give me the opportunity to meet with Mr. Stoddard, and I'll give you a call.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I can go home?
Oh, yes. Either way, you will get a call.
All right.
That would take us right to the public hearing, which I would, my paper doesn't quite have that. I would seek a motion to open the hearing. Mr. Wood, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette. Any discussion on that? All in favor indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
So we will stand open. This is a public hearing concerning a potential community development block grant for the town of Plattsburgh. And really just sort of cutting to the chase, the focus of this is a grant that would be used to help Prevost, which is a coach company, to go through training for their new employees. Anyone wishing to make comment, we would just invite you to please state again your name and address, and we will listen.
Well, I thought this was a community block grant for rehabbing homes.
No.
Oh, it isn't?
No. It's a CDBG grant for training for the new Prevost company, which is really being done through the chamber.
I read it wrong in the paper.
If you would like to rescind your comment option, we would be pleased to receive it.
Yeah, you'll have to.
You don't get to carry it over.
Cross my name off the
Okay,
list.
no, we'll leave your name there. John, and just a matter of the record, to the best of my knowledge, they don't have that out there right now. They pulled that one back and haven't renewed the funding for that purpose.
For the
Yeah.
For the
community
home grants,
development.
for the
Yeah.
home grants.
Home grants.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like the block grant that you got before.
Yep.
The 400,000.
Right, for home improvements?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No.
No, like Bernie said, they pulled that because the funding's not available with the state.
Oh, okay. What, was that the one that was in the paper?
Nope.
No.
The one that was in the paper was for the
For
Prevost
this.
project, right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We had another public hearing on this, right?
Yes,
The
We
last week.
earlier.
Yes.
Last week, yeah.
yep, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that would like to make comment concerning the CBG grant? Anyone have any written submissions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to close this hearing. Mr. Renadette, second. Mr. Wood. Any discussion? All in favor indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we will have this hearing closed at 7:08 by my watch. I'll just make note that in the event someone else does come in, we will certainly ask them if that's the purpose they've come for and allow them to make comment as well, because rather than just leave that dangling, I'm suspecting that's the end of it. With that said, going back to the regular agenda and all, the only person who noted was Doris Deef. She has spoken and left. We dealt with that, and John. So I will go to the agenda. Workplace 2013 conference. I don't always, as I said, know exactly what you've had given to you. I'm assuming that was in there. It's an info. If anybody's interested, please let us know. If you want more information, if you didn't get the back side of it, there was a little bit there. Rachel is here. I'm going to move things along so we don't waste her time. DEC support is pretty important. You got some information. The bottom line, I think, was pretty well asterisked through this, that Ricky, correct me if I'm wrong and fill in, they don't want to provide computers, support, anything for us to collect the money and then give it to them. Is that correct?
Yep. It's up to us now to buy the computer. They'll give us the software from a company that they contracted with, but as of the way it stands, the decal program, the computer and all the hardware belongs to them and Verizon Communications. And they are no longer in a contract with them.
And you can see from your handout, I believe this was 2012, the calendar year, the town collected $10,751 and gave the state back $10,210.84, keeping $540.16 of that for our work. Ricky, what is your recommendation?
And now what they're doing is any of the people that are contracted with them to sign on to it, they want you to accept credit cards. And in order to do that, we lose 3 3/4% on, just on that, so.
They're not
They're not,
taking the haircut, they want
no,
us to.
it's up to us to either
Yeah.
take their credit card program, buy the computer and do it for less money, we're gonna be making nothing.
Yeah,
We're gonna be losing money.
It's a
really.
haircut and a bald head, I should know.
No, yeah, well,
Yeah.
when it all boils down, you will, you won't be
Ricky,
making
what licenses does this involve?
hunting, fishing, trapping, anything to do with DEC.
And if we don't offer that here, where do people go to get it?
Dix or
Gander Mountain.
Gander Mountain.
And as a result of going there, they may spend a little more money and a little more sales tax buying the product.
Walmart sells them now too.
I just don't think we can subsidize this activity.
No.
Anybody have any concerns?
All it is
over it?
subsidizing the state to keep passing stuff on.
Well,
to
it's
us.
another unfunded mandate, and here you are, you know, you foot the bill, and we get the profit.
So Rick, what we're sharing with you is cut them loose. Is that at the end of 2013, or is it?
It's up to you now, whether we turn in the equipment now and give it to them, or if you wanna continue.
Tell them Building and Grounds, help them get it out the door if they need it.
It says here, should you wish to opt out of selling, please provide a letter to the above address including your company name with your request to opt out. Town clerks must provide a town resolution addressed to the licensed sales supervisor at the above address, so we need to have a.
Are you making a motion?
Sir.
Mr. Lemoy's making a motion. Do I have a second on that?
Mr. Mannix will second that.
Marty Mannix, second. Any discussion?
I wasn't quite clear. We operate until the end of 2013 at the same,
No, I
No,
think we
either,
send
we
it.
can cancel it now before we go any farther.
Gotta give,
But if
we
we
gotta give them a
continue
certain amount of time, don't we?
Right,
if we continue from now till the end of the year, we end up having to do all the things they want.
yep.
Oh, no, we don't want to do that, okay.
Any other discussion?
One thing we should do is, if we're canceling this, we should have some notification put in the paper. I hate to spend money on an ad, but we should have some notification that as a result of new unfunded mandate, the town of Plattsburgh will no longer.
I think that'd be a good thing for Dan, right?
No longer be doing hunting and fishing licenses.
Well, that could be,
Just
if that resolution were to be tabled and dealt with next week, Dan would be here and that could be an issue he could report.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Even if we just put it in the notes of interest or something, I mean, so it's in the
We
paper.
should,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
something,
pay for an ad.
no,
Yeah,
something
exactly.
should be in there so that Rick's not visited by several people.
Put it on the
looking-
website.
And put it on the website, it's a great idea.
But it doesn't
I'll
hurt to have
include all
it
that
in the
in my
paper.
Oh, no, of course not. And on TV.
Yeah.
That was kind of a rash motion, I guess, and I really like the idea, Tom. You're right that by doing it, the next time it won't be Monday. The next time we have a regular meeting, Monday's the 5th meeting, but remember we are out on Wallace Hill and then Cumberland Head. It would also give us the cable publication of that. I can specify in the resolution, the getting it in the press, on the website and so on. That would probably be,
I think it's better to do it that way.
I think
Have
that's
people
a-
understand what we're doing and
Yeah.
why.
Well,
Well,
it's
since
very
we have a motion-
frustrating.
Since we have a motion, should we have another motion to table this?
I'll rescind
or-
my motion.
Just
Okay.
rescind it
There
goes
there we
Does that
go,
work?
there we go, that
So
works.
rescinding the motion, the second is secondary. So we're gonna let that go. We'll have one for you for the first public hearings meeting. It makes more sense. It is just very frustrating though. I think as you said, Tom, I can be empathetic with the state trying to do things and cut their costs, but cutting their costs by moving them down to us is not gonna work.
Well, it's worked a lot, but if we have any say in it.
We don't have to say too many times, do we? Under bucket truck, my only note is that it's here. It is quite an amazing piece of equipment. I had a chance to go through it with Art, to go on a short ride with Art. It's way beyond anything we have, the flexibility, the 180 on the bucket and so on, the telescoping arm, just an amazing piece
But
of
can it
equipment.
put up Christmas tree lights?
I think it could. I think it
We
could.
need to try that out.
I
Yeah,
think
where?
it
Where do you want to try that, Jerry?
So anyway, that's there, and it looks like a good one.
Good, send them out to my house, we got a light out.
We don't own them yet.
Katyville Park, I met today with Jim. I should have a draft resolution right here. Nope, not that one. I met today with Jim, with a realtor, Neil Forsett, who was a respondent. We are, I'm going to put words in Jim's mouth, we are very pleased with his qualifications. He provided a lot of information to us, began to work through data gathering for himself, more information about the property. We will, you should expect a resolution at the next meeting to engage him.
That's gonna be in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that would be 2 weeks, but we may have one next week, because
That's-
we need to get him going.
That's engaging him on the sale of our
Sale of
property.
As a real-
Our property on Route 9.
Okay, this had to deal with the Katyville Park update. Did the county pass the resolution yet? Okay, because I know that previously they didn't have enough members
Yep.
present, so that's taken place.
It's all done, and it's ready to go.
What was the percent?
6.
That's better.
Rightfully so, I would expect them to be looking for their funds. This is as good a time as any. I did get to today, I didn't get to a draft to retain, enter into an agreement with a licensed realtor. But next, the other piece of this, and we should do this next week, while we're having our outreach meetings, we need to secure bond counsel. This is a draft. Along with this, we'll be the one to retain the realtor to represent us in the sale of that property. This would be a agreement that would cover the purchase of the Katyville Park property and the streetlights. So we save quite a bit of money, and Jim's done some research on this, and we feel we will save quite a bit of money by going local. It's a pretty simple bond in this case. Joe has done this many times. And the numbers we've been talking are significantly less than we're used to. We don't need to go to New York City on this. Any questions on?
We can combine the two, so
Yeah,
cost
yes.
less further.
And the other one that I just didn't get to a draft today is again the licensed realtor. So those will be with us at either Wallace Hill or
What
Cumberland
was
Head.
the percent on the bond?
We don't know yet. Last time we did it, Tom, I think it was 1.9.
I was just checking with that.
Yeah, I would guess it would be the
Not
same.
too much.
It shouldn't be, it should be on the two, hopefully, bless you. So we'll gather some information on that. One of the things I've been talking with Pat about, I spoke with Jim a little today. We have the number for the streetlights, we have the number for the park. It's not going to cost us any more or any less if the number's a little bigger or smaller. I would rather round that up a little, just in case. The issue is, we don't want to go out for hire an attorney, go through a bonding process more than once. And we've scratched our heads a bit to see if there's anything coming up, so we can lump it all together, and we're not aware of anything. So the
Well,
number.
one of the things, for example, we had expenses that we went through, and as we were going through the negotiation process with the college, et cetera, then we certainly, I think, want to put those into the transaction.
We might want to. We did an appraisal. We had soil testings done. Those costs could be wrapped into that. Or we could leave them out and go as we are, but
We paid for the soil testing on Katyville?
no, on
Oh,
the
Route 9.
property.
Okay, I thought you said Katyville. I was gonna say.
I might have, but on Route 9.
Okay.
And it was an appraisal on 9 and on Katyville, so we have double costs there. I'll talk with Pat, we'll get some fiscal counseling, but no matter what, I think we should seek, and we'll talk with Joe also, to have the number a little above the bottom line cost. It just doesn't make sense once we're going out there. So we'll have those two resolutions next Monday. Remember, we meet at Wallace Hill first at 7 o'clock, and then I think it's 7:45.
Yeah.
We go to Cumberland Head. We gave ourselves a little more travel time this time. Okay, any questions on any of that? Also in this list, we have beautification program seasonal workers. This will come up as resolutions as well. There should be 3 separate ones, one for each individual.
I actually know all 3 of them are very good teamers.
Good.
First 2, their work ethic they take after their mother. So.
The other thing, I don't remember if I noted last time, Mel is giving us time ahead. Many times before we got a resolution right in the week she needed to start the lifeguards or something. We had requested a chance to review the candidates. So this is good. Missing chain link fence, you have, I think, a memo from Mel to the County Sheriff's Department. Rick, are you aware of any updates on that? I know I'm not.
Well, yes, tonight we received a license plate on the truck. I'm gonna forward it to them tomorrow to have them run it to see, where the...
We won't ask how or where?
Where the location of the vehicle is, and if it is, I can go identify it, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know if you all heard the full story, and we don't want to tell the full story, but Ricky
He's gonna do it right now.
Ricky went after this person. He saw them, he got in his vehicle, he chased them around the parking lot, he chased them around the orchard. They hid between the cars, and they were here for court. Can you imagine that? Right behind deputy cars. And when they saw Ricky was closing in, they scooted again. He got a great description of the vehicle, but he couldn't get the plate. 2 days later, I took his vehicle description, and I saw one matched it, I thought, and I chased them, and I got the plate number.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be the wrong vehicle. So, but you talk about brazen, roughly 4:45, I think, Rick, you were going out the door, and they're there in broad daylight, loading the pickup. So, I've looked at some cameras again, we've said it, we know we need to, and I guess now we really need to.
So, yeah,
Well,
Authorize the purchase of them.
if that works, if we do get it back, then we can get that dog park going over
It
and
would be nice.
go pay them.
But by my math, it's almost $5,000 with the chain link fence.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a significant amount of money.
Yeah, it is. Without that,
Just,
it would be a significant crime if,
the first thought that came into my mind when I heard about this was not used, this was brand new chain link fence, from my
And
understanding.
we got from the airport.
I don't know why it wasn't in the shed.
garage.
We have, I've been in that garage, and there's ample room in there for stuff like that. If it's stuff that we've reclaimed, all right, so be it. It has value and we lost it, but if it's brand new, I have to question why our department has left it outside.
Well, that brings up a really good point, and in a little walk around I did a week ago, the brand new backhoe that's a year old for water and sewer sits out behind the building in front of the shed, unlocked. And it could easily, if we move the truck that's in there over 6 feet, you could back it right into the garage. So there's just no reason for some of that stuff. And I mean, there's a few vehicles out. If people are wandering around the building, after hours and what have you, there's too many vehicles out there that are unsecured. And that's a problem.
This is an obvious example. There is people wandering around back there,
Yeah.
so.
That's what I said, this guy has got, 2 of them in the truck, and do all of this stuff right in
But it
broad
just-
daylight.
But
Don't come back at night because it isn't well lit, I mean, do it right in broad daylight, and who's
Right.
gonna
I
question?
mean, I understand we don't have the storage capacity to put all of that equipment indoors, but certainly for water and sewer, and I know they got the new camera truck, so that's why it's out back, but there's certainly room in that back storage facility to store that. Being it's brand new, it doesn't do any good for it. All the hoses and everything will be sitting out in the sunlight and just, it's just not a good.
and
If it had to be,
outside doors unlocked,
if it had to be out there, it'd have to be out there, but it doesn't have to be out there. So.
I know you talked to me about that last week, and now it's written down, I will follow up with department heads. That takes us to the minutes that are there, and I rest assured you all will have looked those over and let us know before Friday afternoon if there need to be any changes, please. With that said, I'd like to entertain a motion to go into executive session, discuss collective bargaining negotiations.
So moved.
I think I heard Paul first, Marty second. Any other discussion on that?
Do we expect to have any?
I don't anticipate any action as a result of that, or I have nothing else on my agenda, but I won't be held to that in the event something surfaces.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call in favor indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries, we're going out at, I'll use mine, Mickey, it's easier, 7:25.